What is up, chat? Welcome back to Shifting Lanes Live. My name is Chad, and unfortunately, tonight we have no Greg. Greg is under the weather. His voice is pretty jacked up, among other things. So, fortunately, or unfortunately, depending on your perspective, you have me tonight. Tonight, we're just going to kind of hang out, talk what you want to talk about. I have been recently getting the itch. Do I want to put off some of the things... some of the other things I have planned with the Mustang and wrap it immediately, or wait. I've been playing around with that idea because the whole front end bodywork is going to get replaced at some point. So do I want to wait and wrap it then, or do I want to put something cool on it now? Steve, what's going on? Yes, I agree. I should wrap the Mustang. My biggest question is when. But tonight we're going to sit and we're going to talk about... like I said in the description and stuff, I kind of want to do a Ken Block tribute with the livery, but I also really like some other historic liveries. I feel like everybody's kind of doing their Ken Block thing, so I kind of want to find mine. A livery could be part of that. But yeah, so you guys have me. Football this weekend wasn't quite as entertaining. Unless you're an anti-fan of the Cowboys, and watching them implode is always kind of fun. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. There's been like I said, if you own a car and you do any of that sort of and you modify it and you do all that other sort of stuff, you kind of know. You're always thinking, right? Like I'm constantly in my head. I'm thinking, I'm already thinking of the next performance mod. I'm thinking, pricing out of my head, whether I want to do handling mods, whether I want to do, safe, like pretty much the car's, knock wood, bulletproof, but like suspension is something I've been thinking of lately. Brakes are something I've been thinking of lately, even though I have to drive it under boosted conditions to see if those brakes really need it. To be 100% honest, they're pretty beefy, and stopping is one of the most impressive things about my Mustang, pre-boost. On that front, if the weather allows, the transmission should be shipping tomorrow, which would be cool. Take about 2 to 3 days to get to the shop, and then another 4 to 4-ish days for the shop to actually install the parts. Then we schedule a date with Lund and get her tuned. Then I can enjoy her just in time for, it's going to snow tomorrow. Salt, gravel, all that shit's going to be on the road. So, but we'll see. Maybe I'll just drive down south to where the weather's nicer and just do a little road trip just so I can enjoy it. Who knows? Yeah, Steve, I did actually see the test livery you're talking about. I did actually. I saw that in my feed and stuff like that. I think it's pretty cool. I'd like someone to do it in a race. I think that'd be pretty epic. So if we look here, this is what Steve's talking about. I think it's a Gymkhana. Let's see here, not 8 or 9. I could be wrong. But I think that's actually a pretty killer livery. It's something I kind of dig it. I still lean towards the. I still personally lean towards something. Like I really like the. I really like the Lark livery. Oops, wrong button. Open image. I still kind of like. I still kind of dig the hell out of this livery because it's a little orange. It's got a little bit of pink in it. I love that gunmetal color. I think this would also match really well with a carbon fiber roof, I should be getting that relatively soon. Lark is actually a cigarette company. I would make a bet that all of the great motorsport liveries in history A lot of them come from a lot of them come from cigarettes. 555 on the Subarus, Lark, Marlboro, obviously. There was great Camel liveries back in the day. Um, like so many iconic liveries came from cigarette companies. But that being said, I would not be putting Lark on the side of my car. I'd probably do something more akin to what we are, which is obviously shifting lanes. But like I said, but also I keep coming back to this, and I dig the hell out of it for a bunch of different reasons. Number one, my car's already silver, so the silver here in the door, when you open the door sill, it's not going to be crazy different. Um, as far as like color differences, it might. I don't honestly know. I'd have to see it to kind of get there. But this is my favorite Chem Block livery of all time, and I love this. Just the thing I'm bouncing back and forth on is basically, do I wrap it now, or do I wait? Because actually, if we go back to this, is a good picture of an S550 Mustang, albeit not real because it's Gran Turismo. Excuse me, but it's got the S550 front end, GT, and basically from about here up, it's all as it would be on my car. This is first gen S550, and then from here down, it's all custom. I'd be curious to see if someone could build this front end for me, but I am going to be replacing this entire front clip at some point. They make a really good S. If you follow the stream, you know that there's a really good. Excuse me. There's actually a really good. What you call it? GT500. Sorry, GT500 replica front end. So in my head, it in my head, it just makes a lot more. It makes sense to go. So my plan is to go GT500 up here, and in the rear GT300 or GT350 in the back with a very similar wing. You guys in the supporters group, we put that what you call it? We put that to a vote, and it was highly inconclusive. So if we go to Facebook Shift Squad and we scroll down to the poll I made, which is in here somewhere eventually. Where is it? Did it disappear? It might have. Huh. All right. But at any rate, everybody kind of was split on it. It was 2 votes for the race wing, 2 votes for the 350 wing, and 2 votes for the 500 wing. We are going to open that. Probably when the Mustang videos start coming out, we're going to open that again to voting, just to see what's going on there. Just open it to the Facebook group, the Shifting Lanes Garage community tab. You can put polls and stuff there, just to see what people are thinking. Just because, I'm pretty sold on the APR race wing. I'm pretty sure that's the wing I'm going to put on it. I was hoping you guys would make that decision easier for me, but here we are. Everybody has their own taste, and we're pretty much split down the middle on it. So I may whittle it down to 2 and see what people think, at some point. But yeah. But at any rate, let's see here. What I wanted to kind of do. I had something in here. Where did it go? So. So, like, it's funny. Like, a lot of the stuff you put up, like that Lark livery isn't even remotely close to, like, if you Google best motorsport liveries of all time. But like, stuff like the Jägermeister logo, the Martini logo, the old BMWs, and someone put the M6 BMW M car up, and that was What's the one I'm, let's see here. Like, like someone put this up as one of the best liveries. Like, I get BMW has this weird quirky thing with art cars. A 5-year-old in Microsoft in Gran Turismo livery editor could have come up with this. That is not what I would consider to be a good livery. But like if you go through the history of stuff, like you have the Jägermeister livery, which I think is pretty cool, but a little plain. This is the what is this? Leighton House livery from Formula One. Classic colors. The Golf livery is another one, but I feel like that's been done to death. It's a classic thing, and it looks great on the old. Looks great on old GTs, even the new GT Ford, the old 917s, etc. STP, that's another classic livery. Here's another Gold Leaf, another, just so happens that apparently cigarettes and motor racing go hand in hand. But Gold Leaf, this is an old Lotus logo or livery. The Johnny Player Special. Martini. Martini Racing's actually real up there, just that. We have the Jeff Gordon DuPont, actually not the Rainbow Warrior livery, which I like better than the Rainbow Warrior livery. This was probably one of the best Jeff Gordon liveries, I should say. Even when they switched sponsors and stuff, they kept it, which I thought was kind of cool. The old Castrol logos for Toyotas, this and the GT 500 series, or 500 GT, whatever the touring car series. They put this on Supras and stuff. There's the 555 livery that we were talking about before. Just classic, yellow and blue together. There's a reason why there's so many football teams that use that color combination. It's just good. Rothmans, again, blue, gold, red, just classic colors. This would be kind of interesting, but I'm not loving it. Marlboro, there it is. Silk cut Jags back in the day. These things were amazing. They basically found a rule where I think if you used a factory-based engine, you could have a bigger displacement. So they did that to pretty varying degrees of success. I believe they won the mall one year with it. They had the first to use these side skirts, which is kind of cool how they changed tires with it. It's pretty neat. There's a better look at it. Back in the, I believe this was Group C era. Your classic M colors from BMW, whether it be black or white. 7-Up. This was actually, I think this is a Jordan livery, and actually the first livery that Michael Schumacher ever raced under, which is kind of cool. Again, the green colors, you don't have to, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. What do we have here? Oh, this is Elite Italia. Yes. Basically your old, the Stratos had this. There it is. Again, classic colors going together, and not that. Falcon is another really cool livery. Modern livery, if I should say. The combination of blue and teal and done so in again, it's not, the stuff on the side here, it's not redefining graphics by any means, but just the way it's put together looks really, really good. Sunoco always had really good liveries, even in much lower classifications of racing. Here is BASF, not a fan. I mean, I kind of get what they were going for, but yeah, no. But yeah, and you keep coming across these things as you go through, what a good looking livery is. So, excuse me. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm always thinking of stuff with the Mustang. I've already thought 20 steps ahead. Okay, when is it time to get a built motor for the Mustang? I'm not even close to there. I haven't even driven it with the supercharger on. Hasn't even run with a supercharger on it. So thinking of a built motor is just absolutely ridiculous. But it's just what us car guys do. I'm thinking of that. I'm thinking of all the iterations of it and things of that nature. So yeah, it'd be interesting to the I guess I can say viewers since there's two of you. I'd be interested in what you guys have to think or what have to say about classic liveries or just custom liveries in general because I'm kind of sick of driving around silver cars. My Lexus was silver, my Volvo was silver, the Mustang is silver. Okay, so the M3 was white. Excuse me, still in the grayscale family. My first ever car was a silver Ford Focus. Then I had a maroon Focus, which is the most colorful car I've ever owned. So yeah, I'd be interested in what you guys have to say, and we can kind of go from there. Alrighty. Another thing, while we're kind of talking about it, I'd also be interested to hear about what people think about the greatest era in motorsports. So, like when I sit here and you think about it, like you know, when was NASCAR at its peak? You could make an argument that it was like late '90s, early 2000, or even before that when the cars were still stock cars, i.e., based off of road cars. You might say something to the effect of. Uh, um, you could say something to the effect of the Group C era or the GTP era in sports car racing when cars were insane and pretty much everyone had a car and somehow they were all relatively equal. Uh, then you have, like Formula One. What was the glory years of Formula One? Was it like in the 60s? Was it during the Jim Clark era? Was it during Senna's era where it was Senna v Prost and you had all these other type of drivers? Was it the Schumacher era where it seemed like him versus Mika Hakkinen and Fernando Alonso? Was that? Do you like the modern era because you're just into it for the tech? You know, IndyCar, probably peak IndyCar would be mid 90s, in the just before the split. I remember, what was it? Penske had the pushrod Mercedes V8 engines that just dominated everyone. Steve, I would absolutely love to go into Forza and look at liveries, but I don't have an Xbox or Forza. So I played around with a lot of that stuff in, in Gran Turismo and things like that. But, there's certain, like I said, I kind of get stuck on certain things. So, like, for example, I love the Unicorn V2 livery. I love the Lark livery. And my brain is just struggling. It'll find, and sometimes you might be having an argument. You're looking for an argument from someone else to confirm your bias, kind of a thing. It's kind of that. I haven't touched GT since PlayStation 2. Yeah, I mean, not for nothing. I played Gran Turismo, the most recent one, for a minute. Got bored of it. Tried F1. That was supposed to be with my boy. I don't know. Gaming to me, it's social is a big part of it. So that's why I gravitate towards a lot of the battle royales, multiplayer shooters, that sort of a thing. And then, not for nothing, but Gran Turismo hasn't changed in years. It's the same basic game over and over and over again. Not to say that it's not a fun game. Not to say it wouldn't be fun if do online, that type of stuff. But as far as the single player, it's kind of the same thing. Does it have vehicle damage in Gran Turismo? From Steve, I remember it didn't. I mean, it has some stuff. I mean, it's not like, you slam into the wall and it rips chunks of the car off. But it does have, for lack of a better way of putting it, damage that affects performance. So it's, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would love to get a racing stream going on here. I'd love to you know, I'd love to start a gaming channel if I'm honest. I've been kind of working on that and postponing it. Because again, I like doing that stuff with people. I like doing that with my boys and stuff like that. So I don't know. Steve, small group tonight? Yeah, I guess Greg is the backbone to which this stream. Uh, Greg is the backbone to which this stream is built upon. Apparently. So who knows? I don't know if there's anything of take their people beyond, but such is the nature of things. Everyone is sick from the weird weather. I mean, I could see that. I mean, most of the time people get sick during the temperature change and everything like that. So could be something to that effect. I could be missing something. I could be missing something on the stream end. Could not be in the greatest of the quality. But yeah, who knows? Did I watch the rocket launch earlier? I did not. To be honest, I kind of just vegged today. I went into work for a minute and didn't really. If it wasn't on ESPN, it was something that I didn't come across because that's what the Barflies were watching today. uh, I'm assuming since social media isn't blowing up with stuff, it was mostly successful, so that's always a good thing. Um, so was that Musk's launch? Uh, oh right, I think um, I launched first U.S. Electron booster January. Was this Rocket Lab to launch first ever Electron booster? Here's how to watch live. When was this published? 13 hours ago. Okay, so it was the Rocket Lab one in Virginia. Yeah, not gonna lie. I left. I left work when it was like sort of dusk. Got here home, showered, and then was on the computer prepping. Uh, yeah, prepping with dinner in between. Um, hmm. So yeah, I mean, I think honestly, I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen kind of a privateer version of the space race. And what I mean by that is like guys rushing to show that they should get contracts based on their superiority. So like I'm actually shocked that Elon Musk hasn't like shot for the moon by this point. I understand that is a massive undertaking, but dude talks about going to Mars. You got to make that first little tiny mass. Actually, grand scheme of things, it's minuscule compared to it. But you got to start somewhere. I privatizing space travel, so to speak, has actually gone a lot better than I thought it was going to. I thought it would backtrack the entirety of the industry 10 years and would take us whiles to catch up. Um, Steve, Musk is trying to not have Tesla fail at the moment. Um, True, but Tesla's almost, what's the word? Tesla's almost too big to fail if you really want to get into it. Um, and I say that from the standpoint of what I mean by this. Tesla, the government has subsidized Tesla so much, and when most lay people think of electric cars, they think of Tesla. So Tesla failing is almost akin to the electric car failing, if that makes any sense. It isn't. Like, if Tesla goes away, the other manufacturers will carry the electric torch. But Tesla kind of Tesla kind of defined the modern modern electric vehicles. So it's different but the same. I mean, I think in a lot of ways Musk has gone too far uh, with his unique thinking, like the steering yoke as opposed to a wheel. It's a great idea in theory, not in the real world. It great works in a Formula One car when this is the most you're steering. But if you're a mom on the highway and you need to just lightly adjust, excuse me, it's not ideal. Rivian makes good looking cars. I really like the Lucid Air and what that represents as far as it has all the good stuff Tesla did wrapped in a modern body, but it doesn't try to reinvent everything like Tesla did. Like one of the biggest things with Tesla is I don't like not having a gauge cluster right in front of me. It looks weird. It's off-putting. Having to, it all being on that massive screen. It all being on that massive screen is cool, but like, here's the other thing. To adjust the mirrors in a Tesla, it's not like press a button on the door or do this. You have to go through. It's like going through a menu, and it's like almost akin to like changing a background on your cell phone. Like you have to go through menu after menu, then select, then use these little track balls on the steering wheel. And again, that part of the car didn't need to be reinvented. Yes, Steve, finally someone who isn't you commenting, and it is the one, the only, the legend of legends, Mr. Gregson Mate, who unfortunately is under the weather and cannot be on tonight. But yeah, I mean, so also, I think Greg, since he's in chat, can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Hanson's actually test driving a Mercedes or an AMG EQS at the moment, which is an insane electric car. Here's the thing, that falls into the same trap. Everyone is trying to make the electric car look modern or futuristic almost. And they all end up, if you strip away paint and they're just a thing. You're welcome, Greg. If you strip away the paint, these things all it's falling into the trap of the crossover. If you look at a CRV, a RAV4, the Hyundai equivalent, the Honda, if you go down the list and you strip away the paint, the badging, and everything, they all look homogenous and the same. Electric cars are getting to that point in the fact they have this sleek teardrop shape, and they have their quirk. Like a Tesla bodywork is the same, but it or isn't. They all have their differences, I should say, bodywork wise. But if you strip it away and you look at it silhouette to silhouette, they're starting to all look the same because they're all an answer to the same equation. Efficiency, aerodynamic. Make a car with X amount of space in it. You have more liberty in how you do that because there's no massive internal combustion engine to think about. But it's starting to blend together. I would almost rather, I don't know. So, one of the guys who helps us out with some stuff, the Ram, like the pickup trucks, like they're starting to break the mold. But even so, like the new Ram, I forget what it's called. The electric Ram, again, it's going too far. They got to understand their demographic here. And okay, so will the person who buys the electric Ram be the same person who's buying the Ram as a work vehicle? No, they're probably still going to go for the gas option. They're still going to go for the diesel option, all that other sort of stuff. So you're placating to the consumer, and that's the reason why pickup trucks are so outsell everything. And everything like that. But again, you can't if you try to reinvent the wheel constantly, you're going to end up with a fucking square. And that's not what people want as a wheel, so to speak, right? So, Greg, just because a car is modern and electric doesn't mean it should look like an alien space frog. Hence why the Project 74N is hugely amazing. That sort of design is how EVs will truly thrive. Completely agree. retro styling. Here's the thing: when you no longer have to design around an engine, you have freedom to design whatever the hell you want. I mean, obviously, headlights have to be a certain height. You have to have certain things for the suspension. You have to have all this other sort of consideration as far as to make it safe and legal. But you have the freedom to do whatever you want. Why not make something cool out of it? Steve with the livery idea. Ken Block's livery from the Pikes Peak Porsche. While I will have undying admiration, let's see here. If I could type, I'd pull this up. So it's the to those of you open. So this is what Steve is talking about, and while I think it's cool, and I think what is it, the Gucci Ghost or whatever on the old Porsche. So this is the what the hell is it? Basically this is an adaptation or an interpretation of the pig livery from the old 917s. Let's see if I can find it. So that so like if you see here, that's kind of the idea behind it. It looks cool, matte pink with black and carbon and everything. Has definitely a cool look to it. Yeah, that's I'm not 100% about that one. Of all Ken Block's liveries, this would be down on the list for me. This car is an amazing piece of engineering. BBI and their team building this thing from effectively scratch into a absolute monster should not go understated. This is an amazing piece of kit. Delivery works because it's Ken Block, and he kind of makes that stuff kind of work, right? But for me, it's something I would want to drive around every day. It's just not really. It's not my cup of tea. It's a great. I love the concept. I love the. Ken was huge with art and, you know, breaking the mold when it comes to like livery design and things like that, and incorporating actual art into his liveries, especially the Ain't Care liveries that he had. So like if you had I can't actually find it. Oh, here we go. But like his Ain't Care livery, like that actually is a really cool livery. Something I would consider. I don't know how well it's going to play against the silver if I open the doors, but yeah, he has a lot of really amazing stuff. The Huna Pegasus wasn't what I would consider to be at the top of. Wouldn't be the top for me. But like I said, it worked because he made it work. Like, he was the guy pushing that boundary, and that's why he was such an innovator and why he was such an absolute legend in motorsport, and why like he could drive like nobody else. He did things nobody else was doing on the as far as creating content, as far as all that other stuff. But he was pushing the boundaries with livery design because livery design had gotten kind of stale. You know, it was put a big logo on the side of the car, have some different colors here and there, and every livery was kind of following the same formula. He absolutely changed that. Like so much. There's truly not enough time to say how much he changed how we view motorsport and how important livery is to brand and design, and how people like Daily Different Exotics took that as, okay, our car is not just a car. It's one thing to put the DDE logo on the side of it and call it a day, but it's also a marketing tool. You know, you build these cars and they become marketing tools for your brand, for your company, for your business, which is why I want to do something with the Mustang, whether it be now or whether I do the body mods after the body mods. At some point, I want to put a made. At some point, I want to do a pretty loud, not obnoxious, but a loud, no mistaking what that car is kind of livery to it. You know, to Steve's point. Oh, that's a terrible picture of that. Nope. Awful. Awful. Let's try this. I think there'd be better pictures of this. So, like I said, to Steve's point, the Safari port, I really like the way that comes together. I think that is really good design because it's different. I'm pretty sure it's paint overflow and things like that. But I dig the hell out of that too. Like that's part of the reason why. Like, um, Greg is going back to work. He will be back next week to. Hey, look at Greg shows up and we almost triple in viewers. Greg, you can't leave. Sorry, you are the star. You are the straw that stirs this particular drink, my friend. Doug, welcome back. Reminds me a little of an AMC Eagle XX4. Yes. Please hold. Let's see here. Yes, I could totally see that. That's just such an interesting thing. Um, uh, yeah. I don't know. That's one of the cars that I fully enjoyed. Um, so yeah. I would for an Eagle. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I would kill for an Eagle. You can't just put an Eagle body on the Jeep. It seems simple enough to me. Um, but as much as a Porsche can. I mean, I think there's a lot of holdover in the. I mean, it's lifted. It's two doors. It's kind of a fastback. I can see that, Doug. You are not on the crazy pills with that particular assessment. Alrighty. Doug, since you're here, let's hear your favorite motorsport livery of all time. But like while we're doing that, we have here are some of the things from the group. We have the Denso livery submitted by Justin. Classic, clean, simple. Little, what's the word? Too simple. Then Steve repping the NWO race car. Because early 2000, late not or mid 90s to early 2000s, wrestling sponsored NASCAR because that was a thing apparently. Um, Again, I think one more comment. Yep, the other one was, me. My suggestion. This photo doesn't do it justice. The fact that it has that charcoal look is big for me. Eggs. X-A-N. God, this keyboard. X-A-N-A-V-I 350Z. Are these what we're talking about? Okay, I can see that. That has a, wow, it's crazy how much this front end on a 370Z looks C7 Corvette-ish. Am I the only one seeing that, or am I taking the aforementioned crazy pills here? Where was it? Back to the picture. That's pretty classic. That reminds me a lot of the Flying Lizard. The old Flying Lizard livery from back in the day. You know, that gold, that red and silver. Gotta go classic. AMC, AMX, SS, red, white, and blue. Nice and simple. Yeah. Let's see here. AMC, AMX. Oh, God. Oh, no, no, no. Get out. Get out. Nope. 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 Where the hell did this? Ah, here we go. I mean, that is as classic as any American race car livery. I don't know, for whatever reason, I know it's supposed to be like American colors. It just feels a smidge French to me, and it gives me French flag vibes. And I've never really been able to get over that fact. But actually, interesting thing. I don't think they did it with the. They might have done it with the Javelins. I think it was maybe the Camaros. But Penske was infamous during like the Mark Donohue era of like acid dipping their cars because the cars had to be stockish to make them lighter. To having crazy fuel rigs to refuel faster. Red in the front on the AMX. Yeah. Now I'm getting Canada vibes. I don't know why. I looked for red in the front, as one might assume. I am not. I am not an AMC. Still a Javelin. I googled AMX Trans Am, and that's what AMC AMX. Let's just get rid of that. Well, that has some serious Eagle vibes. Bet you like that one, Doug. Huh? 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 No? Okay. I'll let myself out. Mark, Starsky and Hutch is what the AMC looked like. It was a drag car. I think we opened Pandora's box here. Oh, there you go. Put the little 1776 on the side. Screams a little bit more America. But even more American than that is an American flag on the hood. Just kidding. AMC gave us the Jeep Grand Wagoneer and the Cherokee. Yes, they did. And then promptly everything went to Chrysler. R.I.P. It's F's in chat for the for AMC. You mean all 7 of our viewers, Doug? I think we can make that sacrifice, AMC. I always thought AMCs were cool. It was just, I don't know. They were kind of the forgotten child. And the AMX, the little short wheelbase thing, just crazy fast cars. Like, and cool for what they were. I don't know, man. Like, I never got into them like I did, well, specifically the Mustang, but even like the '60s Camaros and like the Challengers and the actually, believe it or not, the '69, maybe a '70 Dodge Charger was the first like muscle car I had to have. Uh, but then my dad got me into road racing, and well, Chargers didn't. So like the Boss 302 was the first real Mustang I loved, that sort of a thing. Just I don't know. Never got into AMC. Can't uh, can't give you a reason as to the exact why. Uh, Maybe this would work. Of course, the one I click on is a blurry image. Yeah, at any rate. Alrighty. Let's just see if there's any. Let's see here. So I'm just trying to go through and see if there's anything I like. See, that would be kind of cool, but once you remove all the graphics, kind of gets lost. I keep coming back to this, guys. I don't know. Just, it speaks to me. There's another one in here that's actually I really digged. Not the Kazi, not the Huna truck. Of course, it's not here. Where is it? Let's see if the highly trusted Witch car can provide the information that we're looking for here. Where's the one I'm thinking of? The Escort. I'm really bummed that never made it into that never made it into a Gymkhana or something similar, because that was a really cool car. It was naturally aspirated, sounded awesome. I don't know if it was just because it was rear-wheel drive or whatever, but those Escorts always gave off like mini Mustang vibes to me, and they have some really great sounding four-cylinder engines. There's that again. There's the original, the Huna truck, Gymkhana 5. Where is the... I'm just going to Google it. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going for the full reflective, but I think as it sits right there, that is... I really like that. Just the slow fade in color. I think it stands out even if you take all the graphics and sponsorship off of it, which again is something I'm looking for, because I'm not going to cover this thing up in sticker, or not stickers, but like sponsorship stuff, because, well, newsflash, I don't have any sponsors. So plenty of room will be on my car for, companies willing to sponsor it. But I always liked this one. Actually, where is it? Desktop. I'll mute that. See, like I'm a sucker for orange. In case anyone hasn't figured that out yet, but I kind of dig the hell out of that. Again with a color fade, so like a really, whether it is bright up front and fades to all black in the back or something, but that is, like I said, that's something I dig. I want a loud livery that isn't stupid. You might see this and think that is moronic. But again, I want to do something that turns, because let's face it, my Mustang going down the street, you're never going to look at it and think, oh, that's special. You know, you might be into Mustangs. You might think, hey, that's got some, you know, I know that that has some oomph to it or what have you. But, you know, like I said, so many different people did different things with liveries that were inspired because Ken did it. And it's worked pretty good for him. You know, like I said, DDE is immediately the one that comes to mind. Uh, let's see what Doug is talking about with the Terlingua Mustang. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Let's see if we can find a good picture of this. So like something like this is actually pretty cool, two tone. Um, yeah, I do kind of like that. I'm kind of thinking different color, maybe orange or something like that. But yeah, I mean this gives Sirius like the early Boss 302 vibes, which is not a bad thing by any stretch of the imagination. Um, but yeah, like that's really a cool look. Uh, I don't like that hood, but I don't have to use that hood, so whatever. Uh, but that's kind of cool. Let me just see. Yes. Hmm. So like someone did do a Ken block on this one, which is not awful, but like again, like what I was talking about earlier, like the Gulf colors look great, but they're done. Here we got Martini Racing, which I don't hate. We have Star Wars for reasons. Um, old school Mark Martin, old school Mark Martin Valvoline livery, not bad. Ooh, this one actually I don't hate either. I could do without the lettering and stuff like that, but kind of that color fade with kind of the orange accents. We're just gonna save that one off to the side. I mean, this is basically what mine looks like in digitized form. What is this? That's awful. Another martini. Like here's the thing: people fall on like these things, right? Like gotta have a horse. Like this looks like it came off of a 1990 something. Although props where props are deserved, Binford Tools and Tool Time and Home Improvement appear to be the sponsors of this. So even though that livery, that actually make for a pretty cool thing if I did Binford Tools on it. But props for the idea, not so much for the execution. We have a dirty low res image of Golf livery. Another Golf. Like I said, the Golf livery is iconic. Been done to death. Here's another. See, I don't hate that. Actually, kind of really dig that. Save you too. Um, not bad. Hot Wheels. Hot no. Mustard and ketchup. Once again, no. A lot of people do this with their Mustangs, right? This is actually a more kind of extreme version of it, but they like the two colors on the other side. No idea why. Um, hmm. Gentleman Racer. Let's see what that is. When in doubt, be literal to Googer. Googer? Did I say Googer? Not getting clarification. Mark, do you have any more context for me to go off of? Just because I'm kind of firing shots in the dark here. I'm not actually 100% familiar with what you're referencing, if I'm being honest. See, I don't hate that. I don't like the yellow wheels, don't get me wrong. But that is not bad. I think that actually looks pretty good. We'll just... Oh, God. Tab. What in the world? So here's the bunch of things going on with this, right? I don't dislike what's going on here in the front. I don't necessarily... That actually looks like a wide body, maybe? Or they cut it out on the side here. Regardless, but like... There's no need for hood scoops on an S550 because there's no ram air. Which kind of irks me. Pretty Fordish with that livery there. You know, and again, like when they did the Gen 3, gotta have a horse in it. It's been done. Let's try to think of something different. What's this? A little too much going on there. No need to be sorry, Mark. You have now piqued my interest. So if I can help, if you can find something that'll help me find it, I definitely want to see what you're on about. Let's see here. Go with straight Milwaukee Tools livery. All right. Yeah. A lot of creative people and boring. Not terrible. Red, white, and blue Budweiser themed Mustang. Yeah, we're not putting beer on the side of my car. No. I don't dislike that. Nah. What do we have here? Full-on Monster Energy livery. Nah. Another one, Monster. Again, like I don't dislike the theme. I mean, maybe we could throw something shifting lanes color scheme with something like that. A Ken Block themed one. That's not awful. Oh, my neck. Now, here's another case of like way too much going on in a livery. It fades to silver and then boom, hard blue. Not a fan. Anything cool in here? What is this? I don't dislike sort of like the Northern Lights theme going on here. I mean, I don't necessarily need the Michelin Man or the Ray-Ban stuff on there. But I don't dislike that. Fairly classic here. You know, that's the H Advan colors. Yeah, Chad configures. All right, let's see what. Alrighty, so here's what Mark was talking about. Yeah, like this stuff, you know, the Mustang obviously is a little bland, but like this, can't actually tell if that's a Superbird or a Daytona. Same basic thing, to be honest. Like that stuff's kind of cool. See that black on silver might not be a bad, like, that's kind of, again, I don't know if that specifically would work on the Mustang, but like that idea, I'm not mad at. Yeah, to Mark's idea. I'm not opposed to it. I mean, like a modern take on some of this stuff wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. Gosh. This, this all has got me, right? Because I still have 2, maybe 4 body mods to do before I even start thinking about this. But it all depends. There was some damage to my front bumper that Blue Sky is trying to fix, not necessarily replace. Pretty much gave them the okay to, like, if they have to JB weld it together to make it work temporarily. So that might be a fly in the ointment, but, like, definitely jonesing. Like, get it on there, then put a new livery on when I put the new nose on. That could work, but it's... Here's the other thing. Putting the new nose on the car is not cheap. Excuse me. So, like, I'm pretty sure that's going to be the big winter project for the Mustang. Like the supercharger was this year. The strict body mods, because one of the parts I'm going to have to take off of the new hood, send off. Oh, Doug, I didn't even see that is attached to stars. I'm sorry, man. Thank you so much for the stars. Way to keep your streak alive. I wish my notification panel was a little more concise. I apologize, man, but thank you. Appreciate it a lot. Lost my train of thought. Oh, like, I'm literally getting a brand new hood, taking a part off of it, sending it off to be made out of carbon fiber, putting it back on. Then they have to paint basically the whole car. They basically end up clear coating the entirety of it, which is why, like, rear end stuff, all that stuff's going to happen all at once, because if they're doing all that, then they're doing all that, right? Quad tip exhaust for the Mustang as well. It currently only has single exit. Where is the... I have a good video of that. Where'd it go? Here we go. Oh, lost. There it is. But, like, don't get me wrong, I love the way this sounds, but I'm not a fan of the single tips. Gosh, that sounds good. Should probably show you what I'm talking about, right? But this was... So before anybody gets excited, this was when we had the long tubes and intake manifold and tune put on her. So this is when she put down 450-ish, 445-ish. Forget the number off the top of my head. I think it was 444, if we're being exact. We basically picked up almost exactly 50 horsepower at the wheels from those mods. But like I said, the single exit exhausts, they sound good. But I just I'm not a fan of how they look. The dual exit looks a lot better. I don't like the body. I don't like the body color on the diffuser. So this whole valance will be getting replaced. The wing of choice up here, I might get this vanity panel in carbon fiber and do some like some artwork on it. I'm not sure. These vents up here, they're going away. I don't like the single one. They're getting more of a louvered look, which I think is going to transform the front end look of this car. Mirrors and roof. So, but from back here, you're going to see more 350 styling, especially right in this area. Quad tip exhaust. Like I said, a wing back here. Vents and mirrors. So yeah. Do I have anything? There we go. There we are. Yeah. So yeah, I just anyone who submitted something, thank you for your help. I do appreciate you guys. I think that's where we're gonna call it tonight. I know this is a little bit of a shorty. I do have some stuff other to do. Thanks again to Doug for the stars. Thank you for keeping your streak. All that stuff. I do really appreciate you guys. Hopefully we'll be back to normal service with Greg and some more newsy stuff next week. Again, appreciate you guys.